I can do it all, I will never fall if the Renaissance. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you won a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall if the Renaissance. You know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a minute. It's been a few months. Took the summer off. Wanted to go ahead and give some time back to my family. Wasn't really a lot of Jets news going on, but there's been a bunch I wanted to talk about, and I've been looking forward to the opportunity to actually get back in the Hangar Hangout and actually have these conversations. And so here we are. We're back, and preseason football is back. The NFL is back. It's the best season of the year, and so we got to do the content thing. And man, listen, we just had the first preseason game. We saw what the new look Jets look like, and I think a lot of us are. I'm not saying we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm not saying like we're going to the Super Bowl, but we saw some things as Jets fans that like we're really excited about. We actually got to witness what I like to call 21st century football. We saw an offense that incorporated some motion. We got a mobile quarterback back there. He's making passes. He's running the ball, scored on the first drive. We've got an OC that appears to be doing some fun things that's going to allow us to enjoy watching games on Sundays. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and overreact because of the fact that it was just a preseason game. But, man, it's hard not to overreact over seeing 21st century football at one Jets drive, right? When it comes to the New York Jets, seeing an offense actually function the way we got to see them function was kind of nice to watch. I'm not going to lie. Kind of nice to watch. But give it a shout out real quick. I already see my boy Defense win championships in the building. Jets Afterburners podcast is in the building as well. Was good. It's been a while. Glad to be back. The Hangar Hangout's going to be back again on Tuesday nights. As the season gets here, we're going to go ahead and ramp up the content. Looking forward to chopping it up with y'all and talking Jets football, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it's going to be. But I feel pretty good, man. I feel pretty good in regards to what this season can be for the New York Jets. And I'm not saying like we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Jets are going to win the AFC East. I think after the last couple of years, we've been brought down a couple of notches to where we're looking at this team for what it is. The majority of us have been hoping and praying that we get an adult in the building to be the coach or the face of the franchise. And I think we kind of got that with AG. When I first left off, you know what I'm saying, it was around like June time frame when I decided to go ahead and do the last podcast for the summer. And a lot's happened since then. But one thing I can say is that it's been pretty quiet around the New York Jets. And personally, I love it. I think a quiet New York Jets is exactly what we need as a fan base. We haven't been in the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? We haven't been showcasing what we're going to be. A lot of the talking that we've done in the past, it's been just these guys going to work, putting their head down, getting things done. We've seen updates from beat writers. We've seen updates from other content creators who've gone to training camp, and we've seen updates from Aaron Glenn, even clips of Jets practices, you know what I'm saying, compliments of that Jets media team. And it's all been for us, for the fan base, to kind of see a little bit what's going on behind the scenes, to kind of get a vibe as to how this direction of this organization is going. And I got to admit, it's been very nice to not be noisy, to just go to work. It's been great. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. And I think that's what I'm going to talk about. It's been the off season, right? The last 3 months. what we just saw again in the first preseason game, what we're expecting to happen in the next preseason game. Some individuals who I think were potential steals in the draft. So much has happened and kind of come to light over this last few months that it might be a couple of episodes of the Hangar Hangout before I'm fully back in the game. But let's get a couple more of you guys joining us in the Hangout. We got Wild Wave in the building. What's up, man? How you doing? My boy Dan Murphy. How you living? How you living? Actually, I want to go ahead and take this moment to give a shout out, man, to the fire team. Look, y'all are some real MVPs. I haven't produced any content this summer. I let y'all know I was going to be out of pocket back in June, I believe it was. And I fully expected the fire team to kind of dismantle a little bit. You're not getting any extra content, extra engagement, and I would have understood. So imagine my surprise when I was setting up the podcast and whatnot. I go in and I see that you are some diehard, like y'all some real fans, like Jets fans again. Tip of the spear. You guys are top notch, best of the best. The fact that so many of y'all have remained on the fire team when I haven't been producing any content just goes to show how real you guys are, and I appreciate that. And again, if you jumped off, I completely understand that you jumped off because I probably was doing the same thing since there was no engagement, no content, so I get it. But there were several of y'all that stuck around as part of the fire team. So because of that, I want to go ahead and start this one off with saying thank you to the fire team members. And I got to do something for you guys. So go ahead and show my appreciation. I can't leave you guys hanging. Y'all just literally went through the entire summer waiting on content. So for my fire team members, as you're funneling in, whatever the case might be, I'm going to be doing a special giveaway for you guys tonight. And that's going to be me taking something off of my shelf back here. And I'm going to be giving away my autographed Breece Hall freaking photograph. So this is going to be shipped out to one of my fire team members. I appreciate you guys for the support and the love you've shown the remaining fire team members, even though there wasn't any content or any reason for you to kind of be sticking around the last few months. I do appreciate that. So I couldn't jump back in here and not do or give something back to you guys for doing that. So fire team members again tonight. One of you is going to win this autographed Breece Hall picture, and you see a nice little stiff arm there. Against the Kansas City Chiefs. I will have this out in the mail for you this week. And I want to go ahead and make it known those individual fire team members are Infrared Jets, Nate, Stack, Vero Beach, New York Jets, Dark Soldier, Nick Shine, Mr. Gorilla Salad, and, of course, E-Boogie 156. Appreciate you guys. Y'all didn't have to, but y'all still stuck around as part of the freaking fire team and when I wasn't giving anything back to you guys. So appreciate you guys for the support. Nothing but love for you guys. I will say this, Vero Beach, congratulations. You're going to get 2 entries in tonight's giveaway. So you get 2 slots because it is your 1-year anniversary. You were the first fire team member and the longest standing fire team member. Your 1-year anniversary is this month. I appreciate you, man. So you get 2 slots. And tonight's giveaway gives you a little bit of an advantage. Hopefully it goes your way. But again, it's going to be decided on by the wheel and when we spin it later on today. But yeah, seriously though, appreciate you guys. Glad to be back. And again, I'll be back on Tuesday nights doing the Hangar Hangout. All right, so we'll do the spin towards the back end of the show. But yeah, so getting into the New York Jets. What's up, Franklin Fung? Nice to see you, man. Glad to be back, brother. Glad to be back. Defense win championships. We got to host a Jet Space one of these days, my dude. Hey, you say the word, man. Be more than happy to go ahead and jump on there with you and host a space. It'd be a good time. Yeah, man, let's talk about the offseason. So, like I said before, very quiet, right? Very quiet offseason. The Jets have been just moving methodically, moving with purpose, with direction. We know going into this offseason, the biggest aspect was us hoping that the culture was going to change. And Coach Glenn has been talking about, the culture has to change. They're going to shift it. You heard a lot of the players kind of echoing some of that in terms of how they're looking to change in the culture, how things have been different. But let's just start right off the bat. So you get a new coach, you get a new general manager, whole new regime in the front office. And we went into this freaking offseason knowing that we had holes. We had questions at offensive line, questions at tight end. We're hearing conversations in regards to Garrett Wilson potentially wanting to leave, or we're going to request a trade because he's unhappy with certain situations. A lot of us were upset and pissed off because Aaron Rodgers got let go. Devontae Adams followed him after that. A lot of individuals were kind of hoping to stick to the known names, right? The Aaron Rodgers, the Devontae Adams, in the hopes that somehow, some way, they were going to be the difference makers in this cultural shift that we're talking about. And I know a lot of us had concerns in regards to how the Jets went about it. Personally, I thought it made sense, right? There was a lot of money coming up on the cap. We're not a player away from me and making this a Super Bowl. I think we got exposed and kind of saw that this last year. And I wanted to start anew, right? Not saying necessarily that we had to go ahead and scrub everything and start from scratch, because we do have talent on this roster. But I like the approach that they took. I wasn't a big fan of the way the Aaron Rodgers thing kind of went out. I feel like when you're talking about a legend like that, you kind of, send him on with some grace. It seems like it was more of a Aaron AG wasn't having it. It is what it is. You don't play football? No, get out, right? So it is what it is. But the approach was to clean house, and there's a youth movement, that one Jets drive. But when the Sauce Gardner information started coming out, the Garrett Wilson unhappiness was coming out, I think a lot of us started freaking out, thinking about this new regime is not loyal to these guys. Maybe they're going to potentially move or trade those guys. I'm going to say this. When they freaking re-signed Garrett Wilson, who, by the way, I felt was priority number one in terms of re-signings. I know a lot of people would say it's Sauce Gardner because of the two All-Pros and whatnot. I just look at Garrett Wilson and I see somebody who embodies that like quiet, methodical process of coming in and getting the job done. The dude's been an incredible role model, the kind of face of a franchise you want to go ahead and get behind. You know what I'm saying? You want your son to grow up and be like Garrett Wilson. Nothing wrong with Sauce Gardner. I think he's a great character too. But in terms of Garrett Wilson, it was just, I felt like he was the priority. A guy that can go ahead and have 1,000-yard seasons in back-to-back seasons with the trash situation he had to deal with at quarterback is something that this is a guy we haven't even begun to see the ceiling of. And I did not want us to lose such a talent with a high ceiling and such a high floor. Like, it's a win-win with Garrett Wilson, and he's going to go ahead and bring that good freaking, I don't know, that just good moral fiber to be the face of your franchise. So this new regime had no loyalty to these guys. They could have easily traded the Garrett Wilson and got back some good value. They could have traded Sauce and got back some good value. But they made the adult decision of understanding that these guys are ballers. These guys are legit. We need to keep our best players. We've talked about this so much as Jets fans, man, that we don't keep our homegrown talent, right? Like we'll every time we get a stud or whatever the case might be, and it comes time to pay them for some reason or the other, we let those guys walk. And that's true. We have done that in times past. And there was a lot of concern that when AG got here, that maybe him and Moogie wasn't going to be on the same page in terms of the last regime's talent, and might be willing to go ahead and pretty much push some of those guys off for assets, right? Draft picks. They didn't do that. You re-signed Garrett Wilson, make him the highest paid wide receiver for, about 10 seconds. And then a couple of days later, you re-sign freaking Sauce Gardner, and you make him the highest paid player at his position for a couple of seconds. I think that showed to everybody, to include Jets fans and to include the people in the building, that AG was coming in there saying that, like, I took this job not because it's just New York, but because I believe in the talent here, believe in the players here. I think we can win with the guys in the building. That goes a long way, man, in building the confidence in that group, right? And understanding that, hey, I wasn't this guy's guy, and yet somehow, some way, they value me enough to not only want to pay me, but keep me here long term. I think that sent a message across the board, not just with those players, but should be to us as well. We have not had any level of consistency or sustainability in this organization over a decade. It's been so erratic in regards to how we operate. This is the first time you're seeing continuity in terms of, at the very least, the players, the youth movement that we have in the team. These are guys who I think are foundational pieces. And these guys came in and they didn't just decide, like, yeah, now we're going to start from scratch. We can get some assets for Sauce. We can get some assets for freaking Garrett. We're going to do the rebuild right, you know what I'm saying, and then do it our way. Nah, they understood the talent was there, and they committed to those guys. They committed to continuity. They committed to the foundation aspect becoming more sustainable. It wasn't coming in half-cocked, which I think a lot of people thought like that was the case. You know what I'm saying? coming in kind of half cocked based off of the fact that the way they let go of Aaron Rodgers, and then not far behind that was Devontae Adams. But that to me is when I kind of realized, like, okay, well, I was a big fan of the AG hiring. I like the upside of the coaching staff he put together. Muji, I felt like did a pretty good job in the draft, right? This just kind of like reaffirmed the fact that like we might have the right grown-ups in the building to go ahead and lead this organization. And you can only look at that and be excited as a fan base. Like, it's hard to look at what they've done and not be excited about, you know what I'm saying, what this organization, the direction this organization is going into. I see Nick Shines in the building. What's up, Nick? RJ Mason's in the building. What's up, RJ? E-Man, what's up, brother? How you doing? Nice to see you guys joining up. Nick says, just sent the bat signal out to the Discord. I appreciate you, bro. I already see the stream is filling up a little bit, so I'm assuming that bat signal, everybody heard it. They're jumping in. Daniel, I had a blast, man. Great summer. Spent time with the family, spent time with the kids. They're getting older, so I got to take advantage of these opportunities while they're still interested in hanging out with their parents. We took a little trip, you know what I'm saying, to the Dominican Republic, had a good time, did some stuff around here in the Texas area. So, yeah, overall, great summer, man. I appreciate you, man, for asking. Hope you had a great summer as well. Hope you all had a great summer with your families. I know kids are going back to school. My kids go back to school tomorrow, officially, a little bit early out here in Texas. I know for the majority of us on the East Coast, it's going to be after Labor Day in September. But my kids go back to school tomorrow. So their summer's officially over. So they're excited. Not really. So I hope you're all having a great summer or have had a great summer, and your kids are pumped about the new school year. I'm pumped about the new school year for these kids. Muji feels aggressive-minded to me. Fifth-year options, contract extension, etc. Doesn't feel like he messes around. I agree. I think when Muji took the helm, for some reason in my head, I felt like Muji was more of a, yeah, we're bringing you in because AG likes you. AG thinks you're cool. It's gonna be nice to have you kind of like in the corner supporting AG. But I haven't gotten that vibe that he hasn't been in control of the show. Like, he hasn't been a part of every decision being made. Muji has surprised me quite a bit. He's young, right? Very young cat. I really believe when he came in here, he was going to be more of a mouthpiece for AG, but it doesn't appear to be that way at all. Both of those guys seem to be on the same page. He's been very aggressive. I like the way the contracts lined up. I love the way the draft, you know what I'm saying, turned out. And when you hear him talking, it's not just him, you know, being the general manager. It's him trying to understand what his coaching staff needs to help them succeed, which is how it should be, right? You want to be the general manager where you look at what your coaching staff needs and how you can go ahead and make their jobs easier. Because if you make their jobs easier, chances are that means you're going to be around longer because they're winning games and they're doing the right thing. So, yeah, Muji has definitely been someone that's impressed me in terms of what I've seen thus far. And again, it's been one draft. It's been one offseason. There's a lot more for us to see. But when you look at the moves that they're making, they're adult moves. These are moves that you see from competent organizations. Now, again, we still got to see it all come together on Sundays. It still has to make sense on Sundays, and it has to work. But if we're sitting back and we're being honest with ourselves, this is probably one of the first times in an offseason where we can honestly sit back and say, well, like case in point, I wasn't sure how I felt about, the Adrian Smith pick, right? I don't think a lot of us wanted to go that route in terms of wide receiver. There were other options out there. Granted, he was a one-trick pony. Now I'm seeing things in training camp and even in the preseason game like, hold on, wait a minute. Everything that I did, all the studying that I did on this cat, like it said he couldn't catch a football. He can clearly catch a football, and he's fast, and his route running is actually better than advertised when it came from the college aspect. And the fact that this guy stays after every game, attacking the jug machine as well, another high character guy, the intangibles, they obviously saw it. I'm seeing more wins with this front office from the draft and from free agency, right? We're seeing some of these guys making plays already in preseason, and it's buying credit with us, right? Like as fans, we're seeing it now. We're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna shut up. These guys are the professionals. They're doing their job. Let them do their job. I'm gonna watch them do it. But I gotta admit, man, like in terms of the draft, I think there was team Membu and there was team freaking Tyler Warren, right? It was either the tight end or it was offensive line. In the end, I felt like the Jets went the right direction in terms of offensive line. You got two young stud tackles now. who are going to grow together over the next freaking decade, hopefully. And missing on Tyler Warren might have sucked, right? But in the second round, they came back and they got freaking Mason Taylor. And I got to admit, Mason Taylor was my second favorite tight end in this draft. I didn't think he was going to be there in the second round, but there he was. You got to love the pedigree. You got to love the size, the fact that he's willing to block. He wants to block. He wants to get better. And his father, being Jason Taylor, is also he's got good genetics, right? So you're looking at a guy like that understands how the game is played, and now you're seeing him in training camp and things, man. And I know how we've been stressing out over who's going to be like the second option behind Garrett Wilson in the receiving game, but Mason Taylor has impressed me. He's impressed me in minicamp. He's impressed me in rookie minicamp. He's impressed me in training camp, and we haven't had a chance to see him in a preseason game yet because of the high ankle sprain. But this is a guy who just like 8 days ago had a high ankle sprain, diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. I thought we're going to see this kid until season opener. And today in the Jets versus Giants freaking joint practices, kid was balling out. Mason Taylor was balling out. Like, looks healthy, like nothing's wrong with him. So again, either great genetics and he's able to heal really, really fast, or that's a kid who understands the importance of being out there, showing that he's available for the team. And I just hope he doesn't aggravate that freaking high ankle sprain, because those things could be like lingering. But you look at this team, man, and it's hard not to get excited because, yeah, it's young. The wild card is going to be how Justin Fields winds up playing ball this year. I feel good about this defense. I feel good about the offensive weapons. I know the wide receiver 2 concern is there. But people act like you can't get a wide receiver too, you know what I'm saying, like later in the rounds or as a free agent. We got a couple of options right now in the building that have impressed thus far in training camp and have impressed even in the preseason game. There could be somebody who steps the game up. It doesn't have to be Alan Lazard or Josh Reynolds that winds up automatically being the 2. It could be one of these young cats, man, that winds up stepping up and taking a spot based off of their performance on the field. I just think the way this team has been constructed is something that we should be excited about as a fan base. Like seriously, man. I just feel like it feels different, right? And I know that sounds real cliche, like it feels different, and we've probably said this 1,000 times before in terms of it feels different, but in terms of just how quiet the summer has been, just how ghost it's been in terms of anything New York Jets, that in itself shows you a different side of what this organization is trying to achieve. All right, Daniel, man, you have a good night, brother. Got to crash. 4 a.m. comes early. Wanted to pop in and show some love, though. Welcome back, my guy. I appreciate you, Daniel, man. I'll be seeing you around, dog, in more hangouts. But yeah, I think what it boils down to is professionalism, right? I think Amana says perfectly. The new regime is looking professional and organized. How refreshing. You have a front office, a coaching staff that shows up to training camp and they plan out the practices with purpose. Like, they're coming there, they know what they want to go ahead and get done, and they go to work. There's no messing around. There's no like let's figure out when we get there. It's organized, right? It's organized. I know a lot of people were freaking out whenever it was announced that Coach AG wanted to do, hey, we're going live. We're hitting. We're going to tackle like in practice. And it's crazy because like in today's NFL, like, coaches are terrified of doing that. They're terrified of anybody getting hurt in training camp. So they avoid, the full contact aspect, and they do walkthroughs and whatnot, they 2-hand touch type stuff. But I think a lot of that kind of translate into the game on game days because, you don't wrap up, you're not tackling, you're being soft, you're not being physical. And if you're trying to get this team to become professionals at this game of football, if you're trying to get this team to go ahead and elevate their physicality, because that's been an issue for them in terms of being physical, you got to go ahead and do those things. You practice how you play, man. I've known this as a kid. I think the majority of us here who played sports growing up, we were always told like, hey, you practice how you want to play, right? So if you want to half-ass it, when you're practicing, you're going to half-ass it whenever you're freaking, in the games. But if you want to go ahead and be perfect, you got to go ahead and have perfect practice in order for you to go ahead and play perfect. And the NFL has gone away from that kind of a bit, right? A few coaches probably still do it, but we know for a fact Salah wasn't doing it. So for AG to go ahead and go live, I think, as scary as that sounded for some of us, because we know how as Jets fans, knock on wood, we're not the luckiest when it comes to avoiding injuries. Like, it has to be done if you're trying to go ahead and establish that physical mentality, like that physicality, because again, we're one of few teams that actually go live, you know what I'm saying, during training camp. And two, you want to go ahead and establish a culture of, hey, we're going to go to work. We're going to go ahead and practice what we preach. So on game days, you don't got to think about it. It's just go, go, go. So I do believe that we have a professional and organized organization right now, which is allowing these guys to actually come into work and prepare for game days. I agree, Pedro. I think AG is the real deal. Now, again, it's still very early, but one thing I think we can all appreciate about AG is that he hasn't come off at all as somebody who's just faking it, right? AG has not given me the vibe that he's just gonna go out there and wing it, see what happens. It seems like everything he's said, he's following up on in terms of training camp. He hasn't changed his demeanor. He hasn't changed his approach. He's genuinely honest. He's genuine. I was on the Nick Shine podcast the other day, and we were talking about this, man. And it felt like when we got Coach Saleh, a lot of us were excited about Coach Saleh because we remember seeing Coach Saleh on the sideline of the 49ers being just a very passionate, very aggressive, very excitable guy, right? The guy that needed to be held back. He needed a hold back coach because he was always so pumped, so elevated on the sidelines. We thought we were getting a high energy guy. We really did. And he gets to the New York Jets, and we rarely ever saw that. There wasn't a get back guy for Coach Saleh anymore. He was controlled and tempered on the sidelines. There wasn't a lot of energy, a lot of passion. So I think a lot of us kind of felt cheated because, like, where is the guy that was freaking, you know what I'm saying, like all fire and energy and just like elevated. And now we got this guy who's just on the sideline half the time just looking lost. You're not going to get that from AG. We haven't gotten that from AG. From the beginning to this point, his demeanor has been his demeanor. The same guy you saw on the sidelines in Detroit, you're seeing him now on the sidelines for the New York Jets. We're getting the same exact guy. So I do believe AG is the real deal. Now, whether or not that allows him to elevate his game to become the coach, I'm hopeful. I believe he can be the guy. Remains to be seen. You still have to go out there and do it. I'm done giving, just blatant passes to people just because they wear a Jets uniform or they represent the Jets. I think as a fan base now, we need to start seeing results. We've been through, we've been through it, man. We're well overdue for an opportunity for this team to start giving back to us as a fan base. I think we're one of the most passionate and loyal fan bases there is in sports. This is a fan base that, from game 1 to game 17, we're constantly believing this team is going to give us something to actually enjoy. Even when we know it's going to be bad, we get sucked in throughout games. Every time we see a little positive play, we believe and we want so badly for this team to be great. We're overdue. We're owed. Like, the football gods, however you want to look at it, like we've paid our penance. I don't know for what we paid it for, what we did wrong, but we've paid it. The Buffalo Bills, before the Josh Allen era, had gone through it. They've been dealing with freaking, I don't know, just being in freaking hell of a fan base, just being sucking. And now they've been great the last few years. I think it's our turn to start seeing that shift. So the question is this. Is Justin Fields the guy? Is Justin Fields going to be the guy that brings us to the promised land? Honestly, I don't know. So the Justin Fields acquisition makes a lot of sense to me. I think when you looked at the offseason, you let go of Aaron Rodgers because I don't think at that point he was going to be the guy that brings us to the promised land. You're going to pay him a whole bunch of money just to be here, and it's Aaron Rodgers. You get excited for the name, but we weren't getting the guy that, was a 4-time MVP. We weren't getting that guy. He was done. You bring him here purely because, like, you know what? Jets fans will be excited. They have Aaron Rodgers. Some of us will be excited. Some of us will be pissed off. But at least Aaron Rodgers is a guy who's going to create, you know what I'm saying, a narrative or create interest or whatever you want to look at it. Well, you let him go. Some people are saying go get Kirk Cousins. Why? Why are we getting Kirk Cousins? We were not a quarterback away. We weren't one person away from winning the Super Bowl, guys. We just weren't. I think coaching had a lot to do with a lot of our failures. I do believe that, but I don't think that the gap of the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles was, you know, switching out the coach and keeping the same quarterback. So Kirk Cousins wasn't the answer. On the back end of his career, he's not taking us to the promised land. The team kind of needed a mini rebuild. Justin Fields was the only person that really offered any kind of excitement. And I say this because of this. So Justin Fields, for me, when it came to that draft class, him, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields was my guy. I wanted Justin Fields. I thought he was the best quarterback in that draft class. I love his toughness. I love his athleticism. I felt like of all the individuals, he brought an elite level of athleticism to the position. And in college, he can sling the ball. He can throw the ball. He was very accurate. A lot of people says in the pros he hasn't been, but you've seen him year in and year out get better. But I thought Justin Fields was the guy. I really did. We were with Zach Wilson. I convinced myself as a Jets fan that we made the right pick. Not because I truly believed it, but because I'm a Jets fan and I'm optimistic. And I figured, all right, well, if this is the guy these guys thought was more talented than Justin Fields, this guy was more than Justin Fields, so be it, right? I started watching freaking highlights of freaking Zach Wilson to convince myself that, you know what? Yeah, I get it. I see why they chose this guy. I think the majority of Jets fans did that because it's what we do. We will twist ourselves in a knot if need be to manifest greatness from this team, even when we know like the obvious answer was here, but we went there. Let's see what happens. Whatever. So I'm glad Justin Fields is finally a New York Jet. I also think we look at Justin Fields' career progression in terms of every single year. If you look this up. Every single year he's been in the league, he's gotten better every season. Statistically speaking, as a passer, he's gotten better every single season. Last year being some of his best stats, but again, he got benched for freaking Russell Wilson, whatever. But even that benching was a good thing. Like, people don't think about this, but Justin Fields was drafted by the Chicago Bears to come in and be the savior of that franchise. Came in, horrible offensive line, not a lot of weapons. The coaching was freaking mediocre. Like, he went through it for his 3 years in Chicago. Not much help whatsoever. Then you send him to the Steelers, and he looks like an NFL quarterback. I'm not saying he's an MVP candidate. I'm not saying he's a superstar. But NFL quarterback, protects the football, you know what I'm saying? Was taking the plays that the defense was giving him, wasn't forcing anything, used his legs when he had to, won you some games. So I think he went 4-2 or something like that in the 6 games that he played. And then his stat lines were all good passing wise. You know, he had a 10-to-1 TD to interception ratio, 63% freaking completion percentage. His depth to target, not that great. But again, he was doing what the offense the offense told him to do. But then he got to sit behind and watch Russell Wilson, a guy, mind you, who's a Super Bowl champion, who's been through numerous playoff runs, who understands how to play the position of quarterback. Like, he knows how to play quarterback in the NFL level. And he got to sit back and just watch. Justin Fields literally got a chance this last year to sit back and watch Russell Wilson play quarterback, learn from him, while being coached by one of the more competent and complete coaching staffs in the NFL. Mike Tomlin and friends. Like, Mike Tomlin is, I think, one of the top 3 coaches in the NFL. And you have Justin Fields learning from Mike Tomlin, being coached by his people. Like, there's a lot to like about what Justin Fields might be able to do with that experience from last year into this season. And then to make it even better, now you have a offensive coordinator that's tailoring an offense to the strengths of Justin Fields. There's a lot to be excited about when it comes to Justin Fields. I'm not saying this dude is going to go ahead and be an MVP candidate. I'm not saying that he's going to run away with the freaking division. But the fact is, if he continues on the trajectory that he was on in terms of getting better every single year, arguably last year is the best year potentially for his development. because he started 6 games, won 4 of them, had good numbers passing, better numbers rushing. Then he got to sit back, watch a Super Bowl winning quarterback play the position, lead his team, the team to the playoffs with one of the better coaching staffs in the NFL. Justin Fields is intriguing, but he's also the wild card. Because if he can't put it all together, right? If the processing can't speed up a little bit, right, for the NFL level, is it going to be next year we're looking for a quarterback? I mean, lucky for us, next year's quarterback class is pretty deep. Archie Manning just decided that he's not coming out next year. He's going to come out in 2027. Maybe we do the whole 2-year thing with Justin Fields to give him an opportunity, and then our quarterback is waiting for us in the wing, worst case scenario. The Justin Fields experiment is going to be very telling because you brought him in because he's young. He's 26 years old, so he's still young. He brings an elite trait to the quarterback position. The dude has wheels for days. Like he can run like he's a top 3 athlete at the quarterback position in the NFL. You can't really argue that. And he's progressed slowly along for his passing. If he puts it all together, can Justin Fields be our Geno Smith? Could he be our Baker Mayfield? Could he be more? Because I think he brings an elite trait to the table with his athleticism. I think it's possible, which is why bringing him in this freaking offseason made so much sense. And it was a smart, calculated move because, yes, you're taking a risk, but the quarterbacks in this past draft class weren't anything to write home about, really. You weren't really pumped about those guys. And Justin Fields has a ceiling that he has not reached yet. And the game hasn't slowed down enough for him to reach that ceiling. If you're able to get him there, wow. The Jets could very well have their guy on the roster right now. It's very plausible. But again, I think at this point we've gotten to the point now, man, where we are just we're not gonna go ahead and hype it up too much until we start seeing it on game days, which I think is fair. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to jump out of my skin in terms of excitement because of what I just saw in the preseason game this past week. I mean, even today during the joint practice, you saw the first drive, the first passing drives. Justin Fields was lighting it up, dropped like only one incomplete pass, 11 of 12, one incomplete pass. Now it's a drop one from Josh Reynolds. So you thought to yourself, man, this kid's got it figured out. Then, of course, the struggles began after the fact. Then you realize, like, all right, well, it's going to be an up and down day. But Justin Fields is also another individual that seems to find another level of playing whenever he gets into the games, right? When it's Sundays, when it's under the lights, when it counts, you see another level of Justin Fields, right? He's never been the best practice guy, which I know we talked about practicing perfectly, but it's just like there's another gear he can hit once the lights are on and he's able to go ahead and play games in front of a crowd. So Justin Fields to me was one of those acquisitions this summer that I loved. I absolutely loved it. You unite him with freaking Garrett Wilson. Maybe he can go ahead and get Jeremy Rucker to get off of his ass and figure out how to play football. That connection is there. And again, he's a young cat that brings you possibility in the future. If he figures it all out, if this is the year it clicks for him, then you know you've got a quarterback, right? And if it's not, then we know over the next couple of years, we're going to be looking at a quarterback in this draft class. But for this season, I think if we're being honest with ourselves, personally for me, I just want to see progression. I want to see the New York Jets take steps in the right direction. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to, dominate games, but if we're playing games and we're in them and you see competence, I think that's going to go a long way. I feel like at this point, I just want to see competent football on Sundays. Show me that we're headed in the right direction. Show me that we're not going to quit on our coach because things got too hard. Show me that we're prepared when we get to these freaking games. I want to watch AG develop into a coach from, rookie year to, next year. I want to see progression throughout the year. That lets us know as a fan base, hey, it's year one of this freaking project, right? In terms of the AG getting into the building, Justin Fields, this is year one. But look at the trajectory we're going into, and this is what it can be once we put it all together. I want to get that feeling. Because, again, man, this is a very talented team. very talented team. I actually spoke to my boy about this, and I think I talked to Nick about this too. This team has won games in the last couple of years, and I really truly believe we won games purely off of the talent level on this roster. I do. I don't think we ever had a coaching advantage. I think every time we stepped on the field, the opponent was better prepared. They had better coaches. They were better prepared than we were. I really believe that. I think the New York Jets won games over the last couple of years because of the talent level we had on our roster. And call me crazy, but this isn't coming just from me. Like, don't forget, our roster was ranked a top 3 roster in the NFL last year. It was a top 10 roster in the NFL the year before that. So over the last couple of years, we've had a top 10 roster by the eyes of the professionals, like the experts, and we've reaped no rewards from it. But I think the wins we did get from those 2 seasons was because purely of the talent that we had on the roster, not because the coaches put them in the best position to win games, not because the coaches had the right strategy or could outcoach the other coach. I think purely on a talent level, the Jets won games over the last couple of years. So then you got to ask yourself, like, how many games is that worth, with competent coaching? Like, there's a part of my brain that keeps like trying to go to this space where the New York Jets come out this year and they surprise a lot of people because they're no longer unprepared. They're no longer a pushover team. They're no longer a team coming out there and that they just look lost. Like everyone's playing individual football or playing for themselves. I think AG is going to get these guys on the same page to play for each other. I think they're going to be on the same page to go ahead and be physical. You saw Sauce Gardner come out this preseason game, in a preseason game, getting in there and stopping the run, being more aggressive. 2 pass breakups, stopping the running back in that run play. Like physically getting in there and being more physical. That's coaching. Coaching is why he's doing that now. He's being literally told, like, hey, if you want to be the best, if you want to really be the best, hey, all this cute stuff you've done over the past couple of years, this has been great, you know what I'm saying? But you're 6 foot freaking 3. You got these long ass freaking arms, and you don't know how to use them in terms of getting physical. Stop being freaking finesse. Sometimes you got to add some physicality to this game. It's freaking football, and I think that's coaching. I think you saw Sauce Gardner come out like that because he's being coached up to understand that, hey, you're a football player. You're going to need to go ahead and do some of the dirty stuff. And that means being involved in stopping the run, getting physical. And we saw that, the limited snaps we saw of Sauce Gardner. That, to me, in itself was telling. We saw individuals get pulled off of the field because they made mistakes on the field and get their asses reamed on the sideline by AG. That's different. Accountability is actually happening. We've been asking for this for several years now. And nothing Nothing used to piss me off more than a player making a fucking mistake. Excuse my French. I'm getting pissed off even thinking about this man, Salah. And then we would be fuming as a fan base. Like, what is this idiot doing? You know what I'm saying? Usually it's Clemens, right? And then you would see Salah get on there in the press conference like, oh, yeah, well, they're adults. They know they made a mistake. They're gonna not do that again. They know they shouldn't do it again. Bitch, you need to go ahead and get into these guys' asses. These are supposed to be professionals. Hold them accountable. They're costing yards. They're costing wins, opportunities. They're costing snaps on the field that loses you games. And all you're gonna tell us is like, yeah, they're adults. They know what they did was wrong. They'll do better next time. Like, no accountability. And to see AG just get into the ass of, I forget what player it was, but he got into the ass of the dude that had the freaking false start, pulled Clemens right out of the game because he got into the freaking fight. Get out. You're off the field. Like, actual accountability. There are consequences for not doing your job at the high level. And these boneheaded mistakes cost you snaps. Those snaps can cost you games. I love to see it. I was excited to see it. And that, to me, again, let me know, like, man, it's different. This isn't going to be the same old Jets, man. It's different. Look, AG is about as passionate about this team as the fan base is. And that's saying a lot, right? I always tell everybody when it comes to, like, being a fan of a team, like, players or renters, man. players are currently they're renting the New York Jets brand, right? Like they get to put on the jersey, they get to you're renting that jersey. You're not here forever. You're here right now because you're getting a paycheck. You're a competitor. You're going to play the game. Like, but very few individuals I feel like are owners, right? So like when you own a home, like I think people put more care into their home because it's yours, right? Like you want to keep the roof tight. You know what I'm saying? You get the new AC units. You want to do some paint. You want to keep it clean because it's your house. You want to take care of your house. When you're renting, yeah, you care about it, right? Because it's where you're currently living at. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like if the roof is starting to fall apart, I'm not putting my money into fixing the roof. I'm just renting this place. I'll call the landlord. They might come out there. They might not. Who knows? But it's different because you're renting it. That's the analogy I use when it comes to these players. They're renters, right? The fan base are owners. Like the fan, because think about it. The reason why this team exists is because we invest our hearts, our souls, our sweat, our tears, and our money into these organizations because it's a business, right? It's a business. And the customers, what they're selling that product to, we're the ones putting the money into it. Like we're the ones putting the money into the organization. So we are owners, like our homes, we are owners, and like the players are renters. But AG gives me owner vibes all the way. Like I feel like AG, like he's one of us. I get he was a player. He's passionate about the team. He's so grateful for what the team did for him. He became a fan. He became an owner. And now he's an owner that's on the sideline as the coach, right? Like, so it's his house. Like he's invested in seeing his house get fixed up, make sure it's pretty, right? You want that curb appeal to be nice. AG to me is an owner on the sideline, not just a renter, right? Coaches are renters too. They got the gig and they got fired their own. Like Salah was a renter, right? Freaking Ulbrich, renter, right? Like players are renters, but AG's is an owner. He's an owner right now, and he's on the sideline coaching this team. And I think that's going to be why we see a change in how this team performs. How many wins is that worth? I couldn't tell you, but you gotta like the way they put things together. You kind of love the way things are kind of like coming together in terms of training camp now. You've seen some of it in the preseason. And then I think as like they start chopping wood and every week gets here, we're going to see another reason why we appreciate and love that we have AG in our corner. Amon says, like, instead of trying to bring in a big splash, we are bringing lunch pail guys. I like it. Like, it's not just lunch pail guys. It's also guys like, oh, my boy Dark Soldier, man, welcome to the chat. Stick around. Now, you missed it earlier. I got to announce it again. We're doing a giveaway for Fire Team members when I get off here in the next like 10 minutes. So make sure you're stuck around for that. Stack, you too, my guy. I appreciate you, man. You guys are real MVPs. I think y'all weren't here earlier when I first said what I said. So I'll reiterate that towards the back end. I just saw that you guys are in here. Wanted to definitely take a moment to say what's up. J7 Truther, what's happening, man? J Quest. Man, a lot of y'all kind of started sneaking up in here, huh? What's good? Nice to see you guys in the building, chopping it up. Mr. Gorilla Salad, another one of my freaking Fire Team members. Again, stick around. I got a little something for you guys. One of you is going to win a little something at the end of the show to show my appreciation for sticking through with me over the summer, even though I wasn't putting out some content. Y'all like the real MVPs. So I got a little something for you guys, a little giveaway just for my Fire Team members. So make sure you stick around for the whole show. Not all fans are passionate. Some are straight up stupid. No, that's true, Dark Soldier. There are fans, I think. So I'll say this. I think there are fans that are defeated, right? Like, they're defeated. I think after years and years, maybe decades, right, of rooting for this team, they're so beaten down by it that they've just lost all optimism, and they just now embrace the suck of being a Jets fan. Like, I still believe they're fans. If the team starts winning, they would be ecstatic, right? It could potentially rejuvenate them, but they've been beaten down so much, man. All the knows negativity. And I used to get pissed off when I would see individuals just be negative, but now I understand. I'm like, I get it, man. Like, you're just beat up. Like, you've been through it for so long right now. You're not a natural optimist. It's hard, even as a fan, to go ahead and find the positives when you've been punched in the face so many times. But nah, some fans are they're I wouldn't even say they're not passionate. I would just say like their passion is been like altered. Right now, they still love the team because they wouldn't be talking about the team today. They still talk about the team. They show their emotions about the team, but like their passion's been shifted more so into like in a negative sense. Like I don't know how to put it into words, but like I get what you're saying though. It's frustrating because like there's fans, you know what I'm saying, that were really still right now are semi kind of wishing, failure for AG, which is mind-boggling to me. Like this is your team. If this is your team, like you don't wish failure of your coach just because you're not happy that's the coach that was hired. You still root for the guy, and then once he gives you a reason, I get it. I love Salah in the beginning, but the moment he gave me a reason to not like him, I stopped liking him, and I made it known. Same with Zach Wilson. I was like, you know what? I'm going to root for this guy because he's a Jet, but he sucked. He wasn't a quarterback at the NFL level, so I stopped liking him really quick. Gorilla Jr. says Salah had junior balls. Yeah, nah, I can see that. I can see that. RJ Mace, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the super chat. What it do, Gunny? What position group has impressed thus far, and what group has been underwhelming to you? Go Jets. That's a great question. That's a great question. I'll tell you this, man. I think we have the best running back room in the NFL. I don't think it's close. I look at those guys, man. Braden Allen, Breece Hall, the new kid. I having a break. Isaiah Davis, but then the new kid. I think the running back room is elite. I think the Jets have a bunch of studs in the stables in the running back room. And that includes the new guy to the fourth guy. I'm having a brain fart right now, but like he did some good things also in preseason. He's had an amazing camp. I don't know if we carry all four running backs. I think we need to find a way to keep four guys, but I digress. I think the running back room is impressive. Like honestly, I think you've got two guys who are like fantasy football draft worthy guys, and Brandon Allen and Breece Hall. And they're going to help you win games in fantasy football. I think the running game is going to be fun to watch this season because of the dynamic of having a Justin Fields back there and the threat he is with his legs, keeping that defense honest, and the way our offensive line looked in the preseason. I think it's all coming together for a fun run game this year. If I had to tell you a positional group that is underwhelming, I'm stuck between the safeties and the wide receiver room, right? And I only say that only because I haven't really who's wide receiver two. We're still trying to figure that out. And I know I said Mason Taylor is going to be that second option eventually, or third after Breece Hall. I think Mason Taylor is why I think the tight end room is stronger than I thought it was. If you had asked me this, like, you know what I'm saying, after the draft, I would have told you the tight end room is underwhelming because there's really like who. But Mason Taylor and Smart give me the warm and fuzzy. I don't know if Ruckert's going to ever figure this thing out. I feel like he's at the end of his rope in terms of being in that building. So I think I would go safety. I would go safety room, wide receiver, tight end, in that order. But if I had to just pick one, I think the safeties. They haven't shown enough, right? And unfortunately for us, you got a stud defensive line. You got some good cornerbacks. You shouldn't need the safeties to have to do too much. Our linebackers are freaking studs, all pros at linebacker. But I think when you expect your defense to be that top, I'm saying like that top tier fucking freaking, man, I gotta stop cursing. I'm about to get strikes galore in this podcast. But you get to a point where you kind of want to see a guy, one stud step up. I know they're talking about the kid from Alabama. Malachi, is it Malachi? The kid from Alabama has been showing off a little bit, right, in training camp. And again, game days are going to dictate, and they're gonna let me know if we do have some dogs back there. But I'm worried about the safety room, that backside, the back end of the defense. I'm concerned about that. Fans, I said go for Cousins, fall into the straight up stupid tier. Yeah, I didn't understand that logic of going after Cousins, who was coming off of an Achilles tear, who's also like in late 30s. The guy, you clearly saw like there was something wrong with his arm strength, almost non-existent last year, where he couldn't get the ball where he wanted to. I didn't get that. I didn't get it. But again, to each their own. Oh, my boy Johnny boy, what's good, Johnny? Nice to see you in the building, brother. Nice to see you. And Mr. Gorilla Salad, anyone clamoring for Captain Kirk as a P brain, they learn fast at ATL that Kirk is Dookie Juice. Yeah, nah, I'm with you, man. Like, I listen, Kirk. If you had told me Kirk Cousins, as a plan B, if we didn't get Aaron Rodgers a couple years back, I think all of us were like, yeah, you know what? Why not? Kirk Cousins, you bring him in. He's a veteran guy, good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can go ahead and lead an offense. But we all watched Kirk Cousins play ball last year. And as you stated, man, he was Dookie Juice. Like he's older. Again, man, like Father Time catches up with all of us. Tom Brady was an enigma. People are Tom Brady was an enigma. Like him doing what he did in Tampa, just it shouldn't have happened. But he's different, right? But that's not the rule, right? He's the exception. And Kirk Cousins, I think, is on a drastic decline right now. Like you just saw his arm strength look bad last year. Inaccurate. He was costing the team games. Yeah. So bring that guy in to the Jets. Yeah, I didn't understand that logic and the fact that people were upset that we didn't go that route. It's just, I don't know. It just cracks me up. Amanan says AG is going to get the best out of Fields. I believe so. Remember, like he made it a point to go out and get Fields. He stated having played against Fields while he was in Detroit, he was in Chicago, and seeing Fields just do damage to his defenses. He's like, this guy has elite talent at the quarterback position. He went out to get him. Apparently, their meeting went extremely well whenever they're talking to Justin Fields during free agency and whatnot. And Justin Fields knew after the first meeting, like, yep, they want me to be here to be their guy because AG sold that because he believed he can get the best out of him. I think AG will. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with Justin Fields this season. I'm going to say in a positive way. I know I just saw like the latest the over-unders for him is like 14 touchdown passes on the season and like 2,300 passing yards on the season. I'm like, the disrespect is real, man. The disrespect is real. The dude was on track to have one of his better seasons in the NFL last year. And then he got benched for a veteran guy because, Tomlin wanted to go with the veteran guy to try to make sure they make a push for the Super Bowl, which is fine, to each their own. But Justin Fields was playing good football last year before he got to sit down behind Russell Wilson and watch him play for the remainder of the season. So it would not shock me at all if Justin Fields lights it up this season. It really would not. I feel like the trajectory that he's shown over the years and the best learning opportunity he had last year of just sitting back there and learning, and that Steelers built, like, again, a great coaching over there, and you've got a Super Bowl winning quarterback ahead of you, and you just got to watch him battle it out all the way through the playoffs before they got sent home by the Ravens. But I think Justin Fields might surprise a lot of people this year. That includes us. Because I don't think Jets fans are expecting Justin Fields to come out there and freaking be Lamar Jackson, right? No one's expecting that. But I don't know if it's just me hoping or me coping or however you want to look at it. But something tells me Justin Fields is going to have the best season of his career this year. And it might not be saying much, but it should be for some exciting football. Mr. Gorilla Salad, my only reservation with Fields is that too many people are content to have a QB that doesn't suck instead of a baller. I want to see Fields light it up. And if he doesn't, he can't. I agree. I agree with you, man. I don't want us to re-sign Fields after this season because he was fun to watch or because he rushed for 1,000 yards, but he passed for 2,000 yards on 53% completion. Like, this is the quarterback position. We need a quarterback, right? Not a running back behind center. So I want to see him succeed. I'm rooting for him to succeed. I want to go ahead and see him put it all together. But I'm with you, man. If he cannot play quarterback at an NFL level, I'm not playing this game, man. Like, you got to draft someone next year. If you got to move to trade to move up to get your guy, you got to get a quarterback next year. This thing doesn't matter if you don't got the quarterback. It never will. It's the NFL. You need the quarterback in order for you to go ahead and be a contender. And as much as we all like Justin Fields, I think he's a great kid. I think he's a great guy. I was a big fan of him coming out of college. I feel like he was the best quarterback coming out of college that year. I thought he was better than Trevor and everybody, right? if he can't put it together, and the only question mark when it comes to Fields is his processing speed. The kid has the quarterback. He has an NFL caliber arm. He has NFL caliber accuracy. He's got elite athleticism, elite speed for the quarterback position. He's got an NFL like size. He's NFL quarterback size. He's 6'3", 225. Elite, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback size. The only question mark is his processing speed. Holds on to the ball too long, man. You know what I'm saying? He gets the ball out a little too late. He doesn't trust his eyes much oftentimes. Because if you look at Justin Fields, oftentimes when he makes a mistake, he's making the mistake going in the right direction or the right target. It's just that he threw the pass a little too late or he hesitated, whatever. And then that's the issue. He doesn't trust what he's seeing, or his processing speed has been his Achilles heel his entire career. And we're going into year 5 now. Year 5. It's either he can finally slow the game down or he can't. So I'm with you, Mr. Grosside. We need to see him play ball like quarterback, and if he can't, it just means he can't. Because I think right now he's being given every opportunity to do it. He's got an offensive line, a coach that believes in him. We just gave you your wide receiver that helped you become a top pick in the NFL draft. The guy you went to the college championship with. You've got a stable of running backs behind you. Like, there's no excuse, in my opinion, for him to not show us he can take the next step this year, unless he can't. Like, if he can't take the next step, then he just can't take the next step. And there's no argument to be made here. Because if we're being honest, in terms of the support structure he has now, it's better than what he ever had in Chicago. I would say the offensive line's a little bit better with us than it was with the Steelers last year. They were pretty banged up. So you'll have a better offensive line. And you also now have a offensive coordinator who's tailoring the offense around you. You didn't have that with the Steelers last year. So I think this is the best situation he's ever been in the NFL level. And yeah, man, if he can't light it up this year, or at least put up, you know what I'm saying, NFL quarterback numbers this year, I'm with you, man. He can't do it. He can't do it. And I think that we need to start thinking, all right, got to go find our guy. That Fields puts it all together. All right, great question here from Mr. Gorilla Salad. Is it more probable that Fields puts it all together, or that Brees improves his vision in the field and actually sees the holes on the O-line when they open up? Wow, that's a good one. All right, I don't think Brees is necessarily blind when it comes to. Nah, that one was pretty like egregious, the one that he missed the other day. Okay, I'm gonna go with Fields puts it all together. Yeah, I'm going to go with Fields puts it all together. And I'm going to say that because we've seen Fields get better every single season since he's been in the league. And Brees is a freak, and I love Brees. I think Brees is freaking awesome. But we've seen the mistake of missing, you know what I'm saying, like missing the wide open hole a couple of times. And then a lot of it has to do with whether or not he's just following where the hole is supposed to be based off of, what the design is. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fields. Fields puts it all together, and before Brees improves his vision to where like he consistently hits, the open hole on the line. I think Brees depends a lot on his ability to get on the outside. He really believes he's one of the fastest guys on the field, and he is. And he's willing to go ahead and just use his athleticism sometimes to make the play. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Justin Fields. I might be wrong with that, but I'm going to go Justin Fields. Wild Wave. Clemens picked up where he left off. Yeah, no surprise there at all. It's crazy to me that Clemens is probably going to make this roster. Like, I thought he would have been cut by now, but it seems like there's a plan for him. Coach Glenn seems to believe there's a plan for him. I'm going to trust the professionals because that's what I said I'm going to trust the professionals. But I'm with you, man. The moment I saw him swinging, I got pissed because really we've been preaching discipline and not being stupid on the field, and Clemens is doing the same old Clemens things he did with Salah. Yeah, I think he'll make the team. Personally, I don't know why. Clemens hasn't really done anything for us really since year one, but somehow he's still here. So, yeah, hopefully he gets his shit together, man, and we don't see him costing us yards and penalties on game days. I know this is Coach Glenn's first year as head coach. He reminds me of Mike Tomlin. I love what I am seeing. There's a lot to love, man. There's a lot to love. I think when it comes to and when you say Mike Tomlin, you're talking about a guy who's not just a player's coach, but he's also like a lunch pail type of guy, like get to work kind of guy. Like the demeanors are very similar. I think we get a bit of an advantage because AG's strapped up with the boys before. Like he's played on the field before. I think that's a bit of an advantage on his part. But yeah, he does have Mike Tomlin type qualities. And again, it's year one. He's gonna pretty soon we'll be saying AG's just AG, but he does have that Mike Tomlin kind of swagger about him and how he carries himself. If our head coach can shut down our media from day one since being hired, I'm sold. And he has. He's definitely kept our media in check. It's been kind of funny, actually, kind of watching it come together. Salah wasn't allowed to hold players accountable. He fought to bench Zach. Then when Rodgers went down, JD never rushed on getting help. We just need to let the head coach coach. No, I feel you on that. I mean, there's some stuff behind the scenes that we'll never be privy to. I think we all know that. Like, you've heard little snippets here and there. But Salah himself, though, man, it became a shell of himself from what we were expecting, right? So I just feel like in his mind, being a head coach is supposed to look different. And it meant him having some alter ego of being a guy who walks stairs before a game to show he's committed and disciplined to routine. But come game day, like there was no continuity. So I don't know, man. I think Salah's a good dude. I really do. I think he's a good dude. I just think, what I'm saying, some people in this league are made to be head coaches in charge of everything and carry that weight on their shoulders. Some need to be coordinators where they focus just on their little piece of the pie and not the whole thing. This is my slice. I'm gonna take care of my slice. I don't care about the whole pie. I think Salah just is one of those guys, man. It was the head coaching aspect, not really for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe I'm wrong, and down the road he gets another opportunity and he crushes it. I just know what we thought we were getting when we got Salah in the building is nowhere near the guy that we saw on the sidelines on Sundays. Gunny, what's up, Chris? How you doing, brother? Hope everyone is all as well. Go Jets, love you all. Hit the like button, support, subscribe to the channel. Gunny's a great person, New York Jets fan, and content creator, rep our Jets team fan base. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm still trying to pursue 2,000 subscribers. So I'm about 300 something away. Doing a really big giveaway when we get there. An autographed Joe Namath jersey will be going to a lucky winner of one of my first 2,000 subscribers. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, jump on YouTube, subscribe. An autographed Joe Namath jersey, similar to this one, but I think it's the white one. I want to say it's the white one. Will be given away when we hit 2,000 subscribers to one lucky winner. So, yeah, appreciate you, Chris, man, for the kind words. OG Jet fan 1985. What's up, brother? One love, Gunny. Much respect. Have a great show. Appreciate you, OG. All right. Actually, here we go. We're at the end of the show. Man, that was an hour already? I missed this. It's been a while. Cool. All right. We got Dino in the building. We got Greg. What's up, Miguel? How you doing, man? My boy Dano. How you living, brother? Jets Worldwide. What's good, guys? How y'all doing over there? Big Will in the building. Feels have a lot to prove sometimes with that attitude. It can be a plus. Nah, this is true. So, yeah, I am Dark Soldier. I was so behind on these comments, man. I might need one of y'all to actually start helping me with this because I hate when I get to the end of the show and I'm like, man, let me go click back through and see what I missed out on. Appreciate you, Dano. Glad to be back, brother. Glad to be back. I'm glad to see you're back. Appreciate you, Miguel. New chapter. I'm excited for what the Jets are cooking too. I've really enjoyed what I've seen thus far in training camp, and just because I was off, you know what I'm saying, YouTube and whatnot, I've been tracking every content creator. I've been watching everybody else's show. I've been freaking tracking all training camp, all mini camp. Like, I've been very much on the game. It's just, took some break away from the camera, give some time back to the family. All right. So I wanted to go ahead. Oh, what's up, DK? What's good, brother? Nice to see you in the building as well. Yeti, how you doing? How you doing? My love, I'll be there in a bit. Brian, what's good, man? We'll know in 26 days. You're right, man. Games start to count in 26 days. I'm excited for it. Listen. Football season is the best time of year for me. I love it. I love football, and like fantasy football is kicking off right now. Drafts are happening, man. You're starting to see preseason games. I'm watching every preseason game for the AFC East. I'm just curious about it because I want to see what other teams semi look like, what their depth is going to look like. Yeti, what's good? Miss you, man, just caught the end. It's all good. You can go back and watch the whole thing. It's going to be on the YouTube channel here once I jump off. So feel free to go back and watch it as well. Don't forget to like and I appreciate your support. Swedes, what's up, man? Go Jets. Infrared Jets. Okay. So, DK, we still got to go ahead and get on screen together, man. We've been talking about this for a little too long, and I feel like it's been like 2 years since the last time we were on screen together. So when you get a chance, man, you and I need to chop it up. All right, listen. So that's the show tonight. But before I jump off, I definitely wanted to go ahead and once again say thank you to my fire team members. If you weren't on earlier, I'm going to go ahead and repeat it. I've been out of pocket for the last 2.5 months, almost 3 months. And I fully expected that my fire team members were going to go ahead and dissipate, right? And nothing to see here. And I'd see you guys again, maybe, when the season kicked off. Lo and behold, y'all stuck around. You guys are the real MVPs. And I jumped on the show today, and I was looking at all my data to see what I needed to go ahead and get correct on building the podcast. And I'm like, man, several of you guys still stuck around, even though I had stated I was going to be out of pocket for the next couple of months. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And because of that, I wanted to make sure I give a little something back to my freaking fire team members for supporting the channel, supporting me, man. I appreciate you guys. I think Jets fans are the best fans in the freaking world, and I feel like y'all continue to prove it every single opportunity y'all get. So, Infrared Jets, Nate, Stack, Vero Beach, New York Jets, Dark Soldier, Nick Shine, Mr. Gorilla Salad, E Boogie. I appreciate y'all, man, for riding with me, even though I wasn't in front of you guys chopping it up and talking Jets with you guys. Y'all still supported the channel behind the scenes. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate y'all. And also special shout out to my boy Vero Beach, New York Jets. Your 1-year anniversary is this month. So thank you for supporting this channel, being a member of the fire team for exactly 1 year. And because of that, you get an extra entry in tonight's giveaway. Tonight's giveaway is an autographed Brees Hall picture. Him stiff arming Kansas City Chiefs player. I'm going to be mailing this out to one lucky winner from the fire team. Again, you guys supporting me, man. I want to make sure I did a little something. I took this one literally straight off of my shelf, and I'm giving that to you guys as a thank you for your support. And, of course, more freaking giveaways are coming. The season's kicking off. I got a whole container of goods in here, and I actually got to reach out to my Connect to get my next batch of goods as well. So I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, man, it's been a while. How do I share this screen again? Allow to share screen. This one. Share it. Yeah. Okay. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see the big little spinny thingy so I can go ahead and spin it and pick a winner for this. All right. Let's see. Dark Soldier, I texted you, my dude. You and I talk all the time. You just text me today? What'd you text me, Dark Soldier? I mean, you and I talk all the time. I don't have any text from you from today. So I bet I see that you guys can see the freaking wheel of decision making. Glad to see you were well. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Big Will. Everybody in the chat, y'all kick ass. I couldn't agree with you more, Infrared Jets, man. This is a bunch of badass individuals. I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me on a Tuesday night, hanging out at the hangar. Please let it be me, my wife's friend, are huge KC fans and talk shit about the Jets. Oh man, okay. Sky's the limit for our New York Jets. The most potentially in talent, in my opinion. Accountability, physicality, discipline, established stuff is cool. Yeah, no, and you see AG try to put all that into play. All right, bet. So I'm hearing, I can see it. We can see it. It's man, K. That's pretty damn good, man. Respect. Appreciate you, Yeti. The wife actually. So I had all this stuff, and the wife redesigned my background in the man cave to make it more content friendly. So this is where I sit, where I'm working on when I'm at work. I'm in this office. When I'm playing video games, I'm in here. This is my little piece of the pie when it comes to this house. The rest of the house belongs to the wife and the kids. Right. All right, cool. So everybody can see it. Again, wanted to give a special shout out to Fire Team members for supporting me through this little hiatus that I just had. Y'all didn't bounce on me. Definitely had to do something for you guys. Autographed Brees Hall picture. Little stiff arm action right there against the Kansas City Chief player. And again, Vero Beach, New York Jets. I appreciate you, man. This is your official year of being a Fire Team member. So you've got Vero Beach, New York Jets, and then Vero Beach, New York Jets 1 year anniversary entry. Without further ado, good luck to you guys, and let's spin it. And Dark Soldier, you saw how close that was? I really thought you were going to get that one, Dark Soldier. Where's he at? Man. I really thought it was going to be you. Like, it was right there. All right. Hey, Nick. Looks like you won, my guy. You get to get the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and roll a second time just in case Nick doesn't want this. I doubt that he won't want it, but let's go ahead and have a backup winner just in case. I always do this just so that way I can get it out to the winner tomorrow. All right. So, oh, wait. Took him off for. Well, no, it can't be him again. All right. So, a backup winner just in case he does not want it. Hey, Dark Soldier. All right. So listen, if Nick Shine does not want this or does not respond to getting this, Dark Soldier, looks like you are the backup winner for the autographed photo. Since you're still here and you've already made it clear you would love to have this, we will see if it does wind up getting back to you. But again, just want to go ahead and show you guys my appreciation, man. I really do. I think that this has been fun. I've missed you guys. I have missed you guys. So it's great to be back on here, chopping it up with Jets fans, man, talking about the season. There's so much to be excited about. And again, I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're not. I'm not saying, anything negative in any capacity. It's just good to be looking at this team and being proud a little bit in the direction that we're going. So again, we're back. The Hangar Hangout's back on Tuesday nights. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. The Jets look good. Let's enjoy this freaking week. And then I'll be dropping videos once again. It's going to be the Hangar Hangout on Tuesdays. Hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. Again, tell your friends about the channel. Got to get the 2K subs this year. And I will be doing a Joe Namath autographed jersey giveaway to one lucky winner of the first 2K that are on the channel. So help me out. Tell your friends about it, man. It was great seeing you guys. Y'all have a good night. If you got kids going to school this week, I doubt it because I think that's just a Texas thing, or at least on my side of the world thing. Well, have your kids go to school. Be careful, man. Be safe. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. And then, yeah, I think I'll see you guys next week. Y'all have a good night.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs.